Hello and welcome to this video. Now in this video, I'll show you how to import content from an existing Canvas course directly into a new course shell. So there's no file downloads required. So this is perfect if you want to reuse materials from a previous semester, pull content in from Sandbox, or copy a template provided your department allows you to do that. Okay, let's walk you through the process together. Let's go through this. All right. Now from the Canvas dashboard, I have clicked on a new course shell where I want the content to go. So as you can see, I'm in one of my psychology courses here. Now this is where I want to import content. Now this is usually your current or upcoming semester's blank course. So as you can see, this is a blank course. I can click here to create a new module. And now on the left-hand navigation, I'm going to scroll down and select settings. Now remember, settings is all the way down at the bottom here. And this is where Canvas keeps the import tools. Now on the right hand side of the settings page, you can see again, import course content. So that's what I will select, and that takes you to the import dashboard, which is this page here. Now from the content type download, as you can see, select content type. I'm going to select copy a Canvas course. So I'm going to copy a Canvas course. And now I'm going to select a Canvas course. And now if I scroll down, I will find a Canvas course I want to copy. At the time of this recording, we're in 2025, so I'm going to scroll all the way down to the most recent course. And that was when I taught in the spring 2025. And I'm going to teach this same course in fall 2025. So I'm going to select that. So this one right here. And this one was an online class. Now, as you can see, you can select even sandboxes. There's sandboxes here that you can select, like you can see a sandbox here, sandbox, sandbox. There's sandboxes you can import as well. So that's important to know because if you're teaching a new class, you have a sandbox that contains what you developed until it's ready to go. You can import it as well. It doesn't have to be a class you've already taught before. It can be your sandbox course that you can import. Now we did search for a course to copy. Canvas obviously shows you suggestions. Now you have the option to choose all content or select specific content. So you can see all content here or select specific content. This is a course I've taught before. I want to import everything. So I'm going to select all content. When you select specific content again, and you start to import, you can select what specific content you need to import. But we've covered that in a different video. Now, all content is what I'm going to select, which imports everything again from a previous course. Now, the reason maybe you would want to select specific content is maybe if you want to skip maybe some announcements or maybe adjust some pages, things like that. So you can do that as well. The other options is to convert content to new quizzes. At the time of this recording, this is where classic quizzes are transitioning over to new quizzes, but there's been some delays and some universities have different ideas about this and want to hold off on converting classic quizzes to new quizzes. It's kind of a big mess right now. So I'm not going to select that. But one thing I always typically do is adjust events and due dates. Now you want to check that box if you want Canvas to shift dates automatically based on a new start date. So if you want Canvas to automatically adjust due dates to match your new semester, you'd want to check this box and then you can input those dates manually. And Canvas is smart where it actually puts it in there. The beginning of the semester was January 5th and it's already in there. And we can change that to August 24th, which would be the start of the fall semester. However, I want to make sure that that is the first day of the fall semester. So what I'm going to do is check my institution's calendar to make sure that is the correct date in there. And it's a good thing I did check because it's actually incorrect. It's one day off. So the start of the semester actually starts on August the 25th. And then the ending date of that semester, which is including finals week, will be December 11th. There we go. So I'll select that. Now it's all correct. And now I'm going to select add to import queue. So it's all set to go. Now, as you can see, the progress here, it's increasing. For some reason, the bar went down. There it goes. So it's importing this course and modifying the due dates. Now, while this course is importing, I wanted to give you a quick tip. Because when you're importing a course, whether it's from a previous semester or maybe a template, Canvas does give you this option to automatically shift all due dates and availability windows based on the new start date. So this option, the adjust events to due dates, can be really helpful. And why it saves you time is because you would need to manually edit the due date, availability date, and close date on every assignment or quiz or discussion or calendar event. So it saves you so much time. I remember as a new instructor, I didn't do that because I wasn't really sure what it would do and if it would get it accurately for all the due dates within the assignments and quizzes and discussions and all that. And so I spent so much tedious time modifying all those dates. So this is a very valuable tool to change those due dates as the import and during the import feature, because that could even be dozens or hundreds of edits that you would have to make manually. All right, now we have the course completed. Well, it says partially completed, and this is pretty common where it says partially completed here. And we want to see the issues. It says view issues. So there's missing links found in imported content. Basically what that means is that some items I imported are linking to files or pages or resources that weren't included in the import because those links are now broken or inaccessible to students. So after importing the course, I always review the warning message here, and this isn't a big deal because these are missing links, and I'll make sure there's no missing links once I go through the course and look at that further. And a missing link sometimes isn't a big deal, but if it points to like a syllabus or a quiz or a key reading or something, your students will be confused or miss something important. Okay, so now it's completed. It should be in there. So let's go to home again. So let's go to home. There it is. This is an imported course again. You have the course right here at the top, Psychology 2250. We have the modules. We should have the modules. Yep. And as you can see, it's all imported. Modules are all imported here. So as I look through this, we have 15 weeks, all the contents here. Now this is really nice. As you can see, now the dates on the assignments and quizzes have shifted. So look at this here. We have the weekly dates have shifted to the appropriate date. Now I don't have to manually go into each assignment and change these individually. This saves so much time. So here we have September 7th for the second week. September 14th as a due date for week 3. One of the DFWI factors is to make overly clear and be overly thorough with due dates and reminders. So one thing that Canvas didn't change is the module heading, but that's okay. Changing 15 of these, as you can see, this is left over from the previous due date. This says January 26, and January 26 was here in the previous course, but now it says September 14th. And that's okay. I can go in and edit that because Canvas, when you import Canvas, it just edits the quizzes, the assignments, the discussion posts, items that students turn in. It will change, but it won't change your title here. And the reason I put it on every semester, and it's worth the work for me to edit the due date at the head of the module here, is because I want to be overly clear with due dates. This is one of the factors that led to lower DFWI rates. So this January 26th, I'm going to change to September 14th. And that's pretty much all the edits I would have to make is just edit this real quick. Like I'll show you, select edit. Here are the 3 buttons on the right hand side, edit. This says January 19th. I'm going to go in here, change this to, what is it? September 7th. Simple edit. Now it's consistent. So students will see it right there. They'll see it on the syllabus. They'll see it on this snapshot here in the module. And they'll also see it when they click on there. It's very clear. So if I select on this assignment, they will also see the due date here. Now I'm going to go back. And this is a best practice for online teaching. This is something to be overly thorough with for greater student success. Okay, now just as a recap, you open your new course and go to settings when you import a new course, and then you click on import course content. And then you copy a Canvas course. This could be a sandbox course, it could be a previous course that you taught. And then you select your old course, whatever it might be, and you can decide what to bring in. If you want to bring in the whole course as we talked about, you can do that. and change the due dates. I always highly recommend changing the due dates if it's according to what you would teach in the structure and how you would teach it, similar to the previous course or previous semester that you taught that course. And then you let Canvas handle the rest. And then you review everything afterwards. Now, this feature really allows you to have a very fast way to save time while maintaining a consistent and high quality course design. All right, you got this. See you in the next video.